Hey guys, and welcome back to the Vintage Geek's Toy Room. I'm John, the Vintage Geek, and today we're getting right into it. No looking at the collection, because this is going to be a long run, long video. Star Wars The Black Series, HyperReal Darth Vader. It's a new line of action figures coming out by Disney, Hasbro, and this is for adult collectors only. These will run you around $80, I think. And Star Wars The Black Series. We're looking at the packaging right here, the front, the side. Seamless joints, highly posable. This is like the ultimate in action figures. No joints on this guy. No visible connectors, joints, or anything. He is amazing. This is going to be so cool to get into. Highly detailed character likeness. Metallic endoskeleton, ultra premium textiles, character inspired accessories, Hasbro Disney logos down there, and yeah, we're gonna crack this thing open. So it's also pretty cool because the box has Velcro holding this thing shut, and you can open it up. And this would make a fantastic display on its own, this pure packaging. But, of course, we're going to crack this thing open. We're not going to leave it like that. But the window box, when you open it up, shows everything you get. All the different hands, the stand he comes with, his lightsaber, Darth Vader himself. Everything you get in this is visible. There's even a little blast from Han Solo's blaster when he was in the Empire Strikes Back in Bespin, in the what do you call it, the dinner table room, the dining scene. So I didn't realize there was a couple other pieces of tape here. Sorry guys. Okay, so we're just gonna slice those open. This really is like an unboxing. You're witnessing it as it happens. The unboxing, the unveiling. It is coming. It's coming. It's coming. Here it goes. Here it is. Oh, oh, there he is. He's out of the plastic. Okay, there's this little like instruction sheet thingy here. You good with that? You good with that? You like that front there? Look at that. There you go. Darth Vader. He's got cool stuff and a stand and all this. Okay, yeah, there you go. Here's your Darth Vader. All right, we're good with that, right? Yeah. Okay, put that aside. And we're just going to go right into the figure here. He is in this little plastic thing. You've got to get him out. He is heavy, I'll tell you that much. There is a metal skeleton within this figure, and it makes him very, very heavy. He is heavy. Heavier than most figures, you know? And here's the plate, the base plate. Looks like a part of the Cloud City... Yeah, part of the Cloud City... what is it? The carbonite chamber, right? In Bespin. So there's a clip down here. Look at this. It just popped off. There's a storage place for this clip, and it looks like it will clip on right there, and I bet you it will hook onto... Right here will be where the Luke Skywalker stand goes. So you'll be able to connect the two stands. And there's this little spot down here where it goes. It just kind of hooks right in there. That is pretty cool. I like that the elements of the display stand can be stored underneath the display stand. That's pretty cool. So Darth Vader's tied in with little black ropes. And his cape back here kind of flows through the plastic, so be careful with that. Don't snag it. Don't tear it. It's pretty hefty. It's a really nice cape. So he's held in by these strings. All you have to do is untie them. Very simple to untie them. And here's the extra hands. And the blast, Han Solo's weapon that shoots at him. They say this is in episode 4, like in all the stuff, but this really is episode 5. It's really Empire Strikes Back all the way around. Everything that comes with this figure is from Empire Strikes Back, not from Star Wars. I don't know. But here's Darth Vader out of the box. Here he is. This is how he comes. Straight out of the packaging with the hands that are already attached. you know. So basically as is lightsaber, and it's pretty much the pose that he comes in. This is pretty much the position that he's in when you pull him out of the packaging. The cape flows real nice. The display stand works great. Even without any pegs, you can stand him on it in just about any pose you want. See, the figure is heavy enough, I think, to where a lot of positions work without having a peg that do not work with other figures. But if you want to use a peg, you can. There are 3 pegs stored underneath this display stand, and it's ingenious that they did this. And you can take those pegs out, like the clip here that goes there. You can take that clip and use it to clip to Luke, and you can take the pegs out and you can stick them in these holes here. Any of these holes, 1 or 2 pegs depending on how you want to do it. And he has holes in the bottom of his feet. So it's just neat that both the connecting piece that would go with the other display stand and the pegs are all stored underneath here. So I'm going to get 1 peg out and we're going to test this thing out. See how it works with a peg. And we'll put Darth Vader's foot on the peg. He's in the peg here. And the peg. And he stands just as good as without a peg. There we go. That's something, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, pretty cool. Let's see. So, look at this. If you take him off, the peg is in his foot. It's not in the thing. It stays in his foot. So that's something to be aware of. Just be aware of it, because you don't want to lose the pegs. You don't want to break them off. So they'll tend to stay in the feet more than and they kind of are difficult to get out. So they'll tend to stay in the feet more than they will stay in the base. So just be aware of that when you're moving the figure around. And you want to be like super careful with this guy when you pose him and everything. So here's the lightsaber that comes with Darth Vader. You can see all the details here. Try to give you a close-up view of this. It's pretty detailed. I like a lot of the paint app on this thing. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, there's a chance it could get bent. I think mine's just a little bit off, but it's not noticeable when it's in the figure. So Darth Vader has a nice looking helmet here. His head, everything, the details are phenomenal. I mean, every little aspect of the films is here. Although I thought this strap was chain, like metal, but it looks like it's black here, but whatever. These are all armor pieces on the figure. They move so that you can bend the arms up and down. The display panels and buttons and everything are there. He's got this rubberized leathery outfit. It's very squishy. You can see that, right? Look how squishy this is. There is a lot of thickness between the metal skeleton and the outside of this figure. It is incredible how thick this is. You know, it's like there's like inches of rubber here. It's not just a thin piece put over it. You can see me kind of squishing it down here. The boots are pretty good. They're rubberized in the back, and there's a plate in the front. The straps make it look like it's strapped together. The boot itself is rubber, but it's got a hard sole. So that's pretty cool. You know, like it's a couple different pieces of material, a bunch of different materials. There is like a rubber seam back here. So that's the only seam or pose line I've seen so far. And the belt going all the way around doesn't appear to disengage. The armor that comes up over the shoulder, it's not complete in the back, but the cape, all the cloth parts come down over the back. This cape is amazing. Really nice cloth for this cape. You could fold it and put it in any position you want. Have it flowing, have it, you know, you can really take some time and put this cape in all kinds of different positions. It's got nice sewn edge on the inside. The bottom of the cape is just like the cut. The interior cape that goes around his waist is also just clean cut. So the poseability here, the figure's head can move 360 all the way around. It can bend down and up a little bit. There's a little catch. It seems like the armor around the neck connects down under the chest armor. That's what's going on here. It sort of clicks underneath it there. You see that? And that's what's making that noise and that clicking thing there. So I don't know. I mean, you're going to want to be aware of that and be careful with that because you don't want to eventually wear out the two armor pieces. You've got to be very careful. You can see how it could stretch the rubber, the rubberized leather, if you bend it too far. So you're going to want to be careful with this figure, I think, in every aspect of posing it and bending it. I mean, it's nice the way they did the joints, but I just have this strange feeling that over time, with overuse, all the rubberized parts could start to disintegrate on this guy. So I would be extremely careful. I'm thinking back to the days of the $6 Million Man and his rubberized arm that would get all rotten and gross. And so, you know, he's got some waist movement here. We kind of blew right through the arm movement there, didn't it? But you got the idea. The elbows move, the shoulders. The legs come out and can bend down. I mean, you're kind of just visually getting it at it. You don't even need to describe every posable movement. But again, look at the legs. You don't want to go too far or you'll stretch and break that rubber. At least I think it's a chance of doing that. I don't know if it really will or not, but I'm not taking the chance. I want to be very careful with this figure. But the knee and the feet have a lot of movement to get you some really good poses there. And that's the key thing to the figures, is always having a lot of knee movement and a lot of foot movement, which this seems to have. Look how much that is there. I mean, that's... And the knee can sort of almost bend on into itself. Like you can almost... Yeah, it's just... there's a lot of movement there. All right, so I think at this point we're pretty good, right? You're pretty good with the posability. You understand. You know what's going on here. So let's just put him in some poses that are on the box. Let's get him in some of these iconic positions that we see in the movies and in the box. And yeah, we'll take a look. Let's go for the kneeling. Oh, great. Yep, let's go for the kneeling position first. So I was going for the kneeling position right here you see on the box, that I hear is the most complicated and most difficult position to get him in, and he fell apart. He just popped apart, and his belt fell off, and his waist and his legs are down here, and there's like a joint in there that clips to that, and the belt, I don't know, we're going to fix this here. Ta-da! We did fix it. All right, so I had to slide the waist cape through the belt, push the belt all the way up onto the figure, hold them upside down, and take the legs and pop them back in position. So I think it's made to do that just in case you overextend it and break him in half. So he popped back together with no adverse effects at all. He was perfectly fine. And then I was able to get him into the kneeling position as much as I wanted to go from that point on. So I could not get him 100% into that position that's on the box, but it's close enough, and it's far better than any other, like a 6-inch Black Series or any other action figure. You can really get him as close as any figure ever has come to getting him into that kneeling position before he's talking to the hologram emperor. So the hands, if you want to change the hands, they pop right off. There's a ball joint, a metal ball joint protruding out of there. So, which also might work if you want to like chop his hand off with Luke later on. So, this looks kind of mechanical. And you just take the other hand that you want to put on. That's not the right hand. This is the other hand. Yeah, there you go. No. That's the same hand as that hand. Why are they the same? What? Why do you get two of the same hand? I thought that doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Is it this? This is. Yeah, here we go. I think we can do this one, right? Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, so we're gonna pop that. Oh, pop that on. This is really difficult. Pop this on. Okay, popping the hands on is not that easy. Okay, so you got to really make sure. Look at this. It's not going on. I'm gonna break the arm off trying to get the hand to pop on. There we go. And it's on. Okay. I think. All right. So yeah, be very careful when you're popping these hands on and off, because you don't want to like squish his head or contort any other part of the body while you're trying to press the other hand on. So again, this is an adult action figure. This is an adult collectible. It's not going to be simple to use for a child, and it could probably be broken if they weren't careful. So I'm just telling you right now, be careful with this figure, because I feel like there's a bunch of aspects to this thing that I could break if I weren't that careful. So here we go. I'm just going through the different hands. Here's his choking hand. I find your lack of faith disturbing. And we just saw the two hands you would use if you wanted to double, like if you wanted both hands on the lightsaber. And here's the one where the blast, like when Han Solo shoots and he blocks it. And I put the straight hand in the other side, so it's kind of like this. You got there's a hole in his hand. This is the only hand that has a hole in it, and this peg on the blast goes right in that hole, so it kind of just goes like that. And there you go. That's the blast if you want to use it. So see, again, it's Empire Strikes Back. And here he is when he, like, this could be like when Darth Vader first gets his armor and he walks out and he's like, what happened to Padme? And they're like, the Emperor's like, you killed her. And he's like, no. So he's like got two fists and he's like yelling, no. And then you got two pointing hands, so he could do like Saturday Night Fever. I think his head needs to be turned a little bit to really get Saturday Night Fever going, right? Beep, 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 beep. It's Saturday Night Fever, Darth Vader. You know, he's got two hands pointing, and he's, yeah, there you go. You got it. Yeah, John Travolta. All right. And, yeah, so then we kind of got this one here, you know, the last Darth Vader pose. The one that I will probably end up using. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay, guys, I think this is about it, right? You're getting a good idea of this figure by now, don't you? Don't you? All right, cool. Cool. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. The Darth Vader, the Black Series, I guess I should say Star Wars, the Black Series, HyperReal Darth Vader from Disney Hasbro, the new 8-inch line of action figures. Premium action figures for adults. I'm John. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Hey, thanks a lot for getting us over 600 subscribers already. We hit 500 only a few weeks ago, and now we're at 600. And if you want to join the community of followers, just hit subscribe and follow along as more things enter the Vintage Geeks Toy Room. I really appreciate all you guys watching. I really appreciate and have fun chatting with you on Twitter and everything about cool Star Wars action figures and stuff. So let's keep that going, all right? Thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you later. See ya. You know what? It occurred to me real quick at the end here. Let's do a size comparison. Black Series 6-inch on the left. 3.75-inch Kenner Vintage Darth Vader on the right. HyperReal in the middle.